Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here to talk about Season 5, Episode 3 of Adult Swim / Cartoon Network's Rick and Morty, entitled A Rickconvenient Mort. This episode's not going to be too long because I don't really have too much to discuss about this episode. It's kind of felt like, I'm not a big fan of this episode. It felt kind of like they have 10 episodes a season, right? And this is how I imagine it. This probably isn't this probably isn't the case, but this is how I imagine it. I imagine that Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon go into a room, get high on whatever kind of amazing drugs that they have access to, and that's how they come up with these completely off-the-wall ideas for this show. And this episode felt like they came up with this idea sober. And like they were just kind of like, yeah, you know, we've spent the past however long coming up with all these amazing ideas for this show, all these funny gags. I'm not really feeling it today. Let's just do blah. And that's what this felt like. This kind of felt like they took the day off, which, I mean, it's a very popular show. I'm sure they put in a ton of work on it. There's a lot of time in between seasons. I would imagine it's a pretty arduous task to come up with ideas and do this show. So it's kind of hard to fault them for kind of like taking the day off. At least that's what it feels like to me. Maybe you guys might have watched it and were like, yo, this shit was fire. I don't know what he's talking about. But I don't know. I didn't find it to be that entertaining. I thought the A and B plots were just blah at best. You got Rick and Summer basically just saying, hey, there's 3 planets that are about to blow up. Let's go fuck on all of them. Oh, okay. And that's it. Like, it doesn't have that normal kind of like escalation where it's like, you know, it has, you know, they set it up and then it just escalates and escalates and escalates to something ridiculous. It was played at its face. It's like, okay, we're going to go try to go fuck on these planets. And that's what they try to do. And that's it. And it wasn't particularly interesting. I will say the one part of this episode that I did like was in their plot line when they are talking about this plan to go to these planets and they're both talking about how much ass they're going to eat. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm not going to try to repeat the joke, but like if you saw it, like that's the only part that I thought was funny was when they were talking about eating ass. But and then you have Morty's plot, which is essentially he falls for this Captain Planet character and they have a falling out because she's so into the environment that she starts killing people to protect it. And that, I feel like, even for me, because this is for me. This is for my age bracket. I remember Captain Planet. I used to watch it all the time. I'm almost 40. I think there's a lot of people in this fandom of this show who are not going to know this reference. And even for me, as someone who knows and liked Captain Planet, I still didn't even find it that funny. Like, I didn't think it was all that great. I like the idea of Morty killing all of them and taking their rings, but even then it was still kind of just like, like it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't that good. It really felt like they just took the day off on this one, and I don't know, it wasn't too entertaining for me. The kind of like teenage angst kind of thing that they did with Morty, where, you know, he's rebellious, he's screaming at Beth over not being able to see Planetino, which why did he open and close the door like 3 times? I thought that was funny, and I don't even know why they did that. I just thought it was funny in its randomness. Like, he slams the door and leaves and then like opens it and closes it like 2 or 3 more times. Like, I thought that was funny in its weirdness. But and then him dealing with the heartbreak and Beth having to come in and cheer him up and all this kind of stuff, like this weird kind of like, we're going to give you just a little bit of like teenage angsty heartbreak here. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me. But one thing that I did find a little interesting, and I'm going to wrap this video up because I really don't, there's really not much to talk about in this episode. It's very, very run-of-the-mill, mediocre. Like, I'm not a fan. But one thing that I found interesting, that I'm finding interesting in this season, is that we've seen more and more of Rick defaulting to Summer over Morty, and Morty kind of just like doing his own thing and using all of the things that he's kind of like picked up from Rick over the course of this show. Like, Morty's no longer a fraidy cat. Like, he's not scared. He's not a coward. He's kind of badass like a lot of the time now, and he seems to have become Rick. And now I wonder if the show is taking it in a direction where it's not necessarily going to become Rick and Summer, but because Summer's more already kind of badass in her own right. But I wonder if it's going to be a thing where it is going to shift to where like Morty maybe does his own thing and has his own adventures, and then Rick kind of takes Summer and tries to mold her in his image as he's done with Morty. I find that to be kind of interesting. Like, I'd be interested if they do that. But, they got, a 70 episode re-up when at the end of season 3. So we're looking at potentially 7 additional seasons on top of 3, 10 total seasons. We're on season 5. So like they have basically, we're only 3 episodes into season 5. So it's give or take, for all intents and purposes, 6 full seasons before they're out of, before their current order is up. That's a lot of time to say, okay, maybe we can go, okay, by the end of season 5, we will play out the idea of Rick and Morty. And then for 6 through 10, maybe we will have it be kind of like Rick and Summer, where he kind of builds Summer in his own image. Or maybe they do that for a few seasons and then deal with the fallout of that. I don't know. But I do like that. The fact that he's starting to kind of like take a shine to Summer and kind of using her as his partner. I think there's some potential for them to do some interesting things there. But that's really all I liked about this episode. This and the eating ass jokes. But kind of a big disappointment following still glad by Windwolf from last week. I don't know what it is with being like dad jokes and like bad puns and stuff like that. Like, I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. There's not really much else to discuss. There just wasn't a lot of meat on the bones of this episode. There wasn't a lot of humor to discuss. So yeah, kind of down week for Rick and Morty here. But I'll see you guys next week. I'm sure the show will probably rebound. And let me know if you thought this episode was awesome and why. I'd be interested to hear it. All right, see you guys. Peace.